Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
Audible is the destination for thrilling audio entertainment with next listen recommendations to habituate every type of thriller listener.
The time is now more than ever to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
So, Ronnie, I recently downloaded Squeeze Me by Carl Hyacin, mainly because it shows a martini glass with a snake tail wrapped around it. I mean, what else needs to be said? And I am very excited to listen to it later today.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. Do you struggle trying to reach those corner lashes when applying mascara? L'Oreal Paris' new Panorama Mascara catches every lash for corner-to-corner volume.
Your sister has been using this, right?
She loves it. Yes, they sent me some, and I gave it to my sister and my nieces. And actually, I looked at, I saw my niece the other day and was like, your eyelashes, is that the new mascara? She's like, yes, look at them. They were like fanned out. I mean, this is a great product.
You can buy Panorama Mascara on Amazon today.
Want to see life in panorama with fully fanned out lashes? Now you can with L'Oreal Paris Panorama Mascara that creates corner-to-corner panoramic lash volume.
At Saks.com, it's easy to find your new vibe. Dive into the Western trend with gold cowboy boots from Staud, or go full 90s throwback with platforms from Prada.
You can shop Saks.com for everything on your agenda, whether it's a breezy Zimmermann dress for a garden party or a bright Chloe blazer for brunch.
Find inspiration for your new vibe every day at Saks.com. Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and hilarious Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful. I am back in my childhood bedroom.
You sure
back here in New York.
You're having a very Princess's Long Island day. I love when you're at this set.
I know. I love it. You see the bonnet that's on the air conditioning so the draft doesn't come in. You see my collection of tchotchkes from when I was a kid. You see the pillows. You see everything. You see this random like antique lamp that my mom has put in here over the past 20 years. So, yeah, I'm back here celebrating Passover tonight, the first night of Passover. Happy Passover to those who celebrate.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the sweatshirt that I made in sewing class, by the way. Isn't it fun?
You're just
Isn't
on a
fun?
tear.
Like
I've been watching your Instagram, and you're just making all sorts of shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to tell you, this whole sweatshirt, t-shirt life that I've been living in my sewing class has been the best because I told you on the show it's a class for stretch knits, which is like, you know, sweatshirt material and t-shirts and stuff like that. We use a serger machine to do it. And it is like so fun. I'm like, now I really, really, really want a serger. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm getting a whole other machine for my house and it's bulky. Do I really need a serger? But then think of all the fun sweatshirts I could make.
Yes.
I could make sweatshirts all day long.
Of course you fucking listen. Does anybody go down a road where they're like, I'm just going to go halfway down this road, then I'm going to stop the car and just sit in the car until I die of heat stroke? No, you go down the road, damn it.
I feel like if I get a serger, I'm going to throw out all my t-shirts and just start making new ones that are bespoke to my unique body needs. And I'll be so happy.
As you get better, you're going to be like, look at this trash I did and throw it away. And then you're going to make better and better things until you're just that fashion gay who's like, and here's the coat, jacket, jogging pant, jumpsuit I made.
I will say that I made this sweatshirt with a much faster turnaround than GNA or She by Sheree. So I'm happy about that. I'm proud.
Also didn't involve any child labor, so that's impressive. Yeah. All actual adult labor went into that.
Just inner child labor.
All right. Well, guys, we are doing some shows coming up. They're going to be fun. Hopefully, Ben will be showing off his fashion. We decided that for the comedy festival in Los Angeles, the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival, that's next week, which is fucking crazy. It's not this Friday, but the following Friday night at the Kookaburra Lounge, which is new at the Hollywood Highland Center, which is now called Ovation, I believe, and which I think they stole from the gays. Wasn't there an Ovation gay theater in regular Hollywood?
I mean, it's definitely one of our favorite things to do, for sure, is an Ovation. But I don't remember if Ovation was the Ovation Theater. Or was that it was the gay theater?
Yeah. So anyway, we stole that from the gays, and we are the gays, but it's not our place, so we didn't steal it. But it was stolen from us, so we're going to go reclaim our land, basically, at the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. We decided what we're going to be doing there. We're going to be doing our first ever live Dwell Hello episode, because we love trashing these House Hunters episodes, and they're so much fun, and everyone can kind of get it at a comedy festival, because really, at the end of the day, we're making fun of pasty people in rayon. So everybody can get into that, you know?
Yeah, which means that we're going to need to hand select, like a very special episode. Because, guys, this is like a comedy festival. There are going to be people from Netflix there, okay? And, like, we want to put our best foot forward. We want to make fun of the best mom hair we can find, the worst open floor plan we can find, the most terrible wainscoting we can find. We're going to have like a really, really fun time next week. If we can, we're going to bring in some like visuals so everyone in the audience, we can all look at the stuff together. It's going to be like a very, very fun House Hunters dragging moment for all of us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm pairing this little thing that I bought to have.
You're like, yeah. I'm like, it's going to be so funny. Yeah.
He started to go off, and I was like, I'm going to pair this new device I got with my computer.
Oh, okay.
We've been married for a long time. I was like, I've got at least 2 minutes. I heard that one start up. I was like, I've got 2 solid minutes to go here. But I got this like little shortcut thing, and I'm so excited to just be able to go boop, and then I don't know what I'm going to program into. It's probably like the enter button, which I already have.
A shortcut too. It's a shortcut.
You could just make little shortcuts on it, and I could be like, guess what? Now we're going to record. I'm going to press this button, and then it'll do it.
Oh, that's fun. It's like a remote. It's like a Bluetooth remote sort of thing.
It says I have to press the number next to the shift, but there is no shift button, because I haven't programmed it in. Okay, Ben, go ahead, finish this off.
While you figure that out, while you're pairing, etc., just to wrap up what I was just saying, Kookaburra Lounge, Netflix is a Joke, May 3rd, tickets on our website, watchwhatcrappens.com. You can also get tickets to our international shows that are going to be happening also next month, London, Birmingham, Dublin. Go check those out. We would love to see you all there at all the shows. And then today we are talking some Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, which again, we had another episode. There's a filler episode. Again, I love this cast. I love spending the time with them. I'm so amused by them. They have such a great rapport. It's like fun. But again, I would not say this is the liveliest episode. And in fact, the episode kind of like climaxes and then it goes on for 15 more minutes. And I was like, that was a bizarre choice. Like that we're ending this episode with like 10 minutes of like jokey talent show. Didn't really understand that choice. Again, I go back to my earlier rant this season, which is if we can't fill out the episode order, let's shoot for longer or have fewer episodes. Let's just really lean into that. Bravo.
Well, we got Preston and a jockstrap. So, I mean, there are certain things that you get that are just going to stay with you no matter what. You know?
For an extended shot, by the way. It wasn't just like a quick thing. Oh, wait, actually, my favorite thing in the entire world happened this episode. Okay, which I put up on our Instagram. And I'm like, this is not going to be the content that's going to blow up our Instagram. This is not going to go viral, but it's going to make me happy, which was a shot of a chicken running along while they were riding horses. And that chicken made my night. Did you notice that chicken?
Of course I noticed it. But you're a very northern type of person. And I know you guys have chickens in the north. You wouldn't know it from talking to a northerner, okay? Because the only northerners I know with chickens are like, oh, I have a chicken. They're like sweater northerners, you know? They're like got a sweater around their shoulders. Like, I have chickens for for the camp of it. I get a couple of brown eggs
Right.
a day. It's life-changing, really. I mean, with this economy, how much is an egg? $20. But yeah, some of us see that shit all the time. You know, it's a chicken. What are you gonna do with it?
Listen, it's not like it was my first time seeing a chicken before. It wasn't the novelty of a chicken. It was just that this chicken in particular was like so proudly running, and it was like during like a split screen shot where everyone was getting onto horses. You see the entire cast getting onto horses and riding horses, and then the fact that they dedicated an entire panel to a chicken. They're like, no, this chicken's part of the cast now. That like it gets a panel.
And also, I
love
really
that.
want to just compliment the chicken because that was a nice worked out chicken. I mean, just the
It
chest
was.
ripples. Like the chest was like rippling as it was a golden chicken, which is rare, right? It wasn't like a
Yeah.
normal, like
Yeah.
average chicken. It was a golden chicken with a bare breasted, like muscled chest, like the cover of a chicken romance novel. I mean, that shit needed
was-
long Fabio hair because that was a hot chicken. I mean, for a chicken, it was hot.
It was a hot chicken.
It was a hot
Yeah,
chicken.
for a chicken that was hot. Like remember a few years ago when there was like a picture of like a gorilla that everyone was like, is it me or is this gorilla hot? Like that was a hot chicken. You could tell it was a hot chicken because like the chicken was hanging out in the horse area. Like what's a chicken doing in an equestrian center? It doesn't really totally make sense. Like it's like, oh, barnyard animals, but it's like this is equestrian, not barn. So but that chicken's hot enough that I could get into the equestrian center.
Yeah. It was a hot chicken. So let's see.
Maybe it's from
So
Nashville.
how do we start this? So they're at the restaurant, a lot of crying. All the girls on
By
this
putting
show
it
are
off.
just, what'd you say?
By putting it off. How do we start
Talking
this
about
by
hot
not talking?
chickens.
By talking about
The next thing we're going to
sexy
talk
chickens?
about is if you're a chicken, how to get hotter. Workout routines for chickens.
That chicken's gonna be cast on the next season of Vanderpump Villa. Ooh, we only have the sexiest chickens here.
Ooh, these chickens
Hey, chicken.
better not drink.
Well, if the chicken wants to partake from the bar, I mean, I'll turn a blind eye because it hasn't had enough alcohol this season.
Okay. Yeah. So all the girls are a mess this season, and this show's really leaning into. Listen, this generation, okay, is really leaning into.
God.
I have to say, the whole generation. Yeah, we're gonna go.
This is
It's
turning
good.
into
We're
a generational indictment. Oh,
generational indictment. And I know I'm just the old gay on the front lawn shaking his fist at the sky. I get it. But enough with your trauma. I'm fucking over it, everybody. Define yourself by your successes in your life. Do we need to all define ourselves on trauma constantly? So everybody's defining themselves on tears. That's how I'm feeling on this whole network, really. But yeah, everybody's crying. And Jasmine is... They're crying because they're fighting about Mariah coming and Bria not getting enough attention from saying that Mariah couldn't come to now trying to start an argument every time she's out with these people about Mariah not coming until they finally just give in to her and fight with her. And so that's what's happening. And she's finally won. And now Jasmine, who hasn't told anybody she's pregnant yet, is crying because she's hormonal, but also because Bria... This is when you really need to think about having children because Bria acts like such a child. And this is what you're going to be dealing with. You can't just start crying every time someone acts out and lashes out. You're basically about to have a Bria. You know, you need to deal with it better than this.
Well, you know, Silas, as we all know, is a monster. He's just like a terrible, terrible person. But that being said, regardless of him being a monster, like I do feel like Bria is crying because there was a girl who was annoyed that there was like dog stuff in the laundry and shoved the laundry into Bria's chest. And Bria is acting as if this was like, she's acting like she's freaking Madeline Stowe in a 90s thriller being confronted with her stalker, you know? And the truth is, what Jasmine's going through is much bigger than what Bria's going through. Jasmine literally is going through, she has a pregnancy that she has to go through alone. And on top of that, the man she loves, even though he's a monster, she still loves him for whatever reason. He's overseas, which is stressful and scary. So she has like, she is dealing with so much more than Bria. And Bria, like, and Bria doesn't know this, but like, still, I mean, everyone knows that that Jasmine's pregnant. Everyone can see that she's pregnant. And Bria acting like this laundry laundry shoving person is like the worst affront to humanity and is like a trigger for her and is like ruining her safe space and all that bullshit. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I will allow Jasmine to have a mental breakdown right now. I'm not going to allow it from Bria.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was even a question. I don't know if that was a debate about whether or not I was allowed, which one we're allowing.
You're
but
allowed
I've decided it is a debate.
Yeah, you could disapprove of everybody at once. Because this whole thing, I mean, I get that the people that got kicked off, like Mariah, I agree with you. I don't think Mariah's crime was that egregious. Phil was worse because he was just going over the top aggro with everybody. But I still think the crying about Phil and being like, he called me soft when I was bullied as a child is a bit much. Like for me, that's a bit of a stretch. And I was bullied plenty. You know what I mean? I think my bullies maybe I was bullied better. I feel like I was bullied so thoroughly that it made me tougher at the end of the day. Like I don't get triggered as much. Like basically I became the bully. I think that's what you're supposed to do. I think Preston's doing it wrong. I mean, look, I have a podcast and I sit here and I bully people. I take a baseball bat and I emotionally knock out people's emotional windshields up and down the street. That's how I dealt with it. So I would like to thank my bullies because they did a better job than his bullies. I mean, the hell.
I love Ronnie, you saying like, thank God for my bullies because I don't get triggered as much. And let me tell you something about this generation. Ronnie, not triggered. Meanwhile, Bria is like crying, this generation, they can't take anything. I'm not triggered.
Well, but this is what I'm talking about. I mean,
I know you're not.
I take my anger out in normal ways. I don't go cry in the fucking corner. I ruin your life. You know what I mean? That's how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we all deal with things differently, but sitting around crying, it really just doesn't solve anything. And people need to just stop. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you didn't have any pain or that your pain isn't valid, just that there's better ways to deal with it. And usually it's through revenge. There.
You know, we got, I think last week, you know, when they showed the flashback of Phil holding something that looked like a gun, and I was like, oh, I forgot that he did that, whatever. And then people corrected us and said he was, I think, holding a tequila bottle, or someone said it was like it's a water gun. So, okay, I'm going to keep on doing. Ronnie had to step away for a second, so I'm going to continue my monologue, which is to say, I did not. Thank you for the corrections because I really did not remember what it was. Oh, it's Bueller's going nuts now. It's like we have Milo here. But the point is this: what I was so surprised about with Preston is that Preston was like really offended that he was called soft. Which, of course, is an offensive thing to be called soft. But I'm like, that was your trigger, not
Spanish. They're laughing. They're like, that idiot. Didn't you
Rodney,
hear
what
my
I was
bilingualism?
We heard it turned into chaos over there. It was hilarious. I was like, it's okay. Ronnie stepped away. I'll monologue it. Bueller's barking.
They just got bullied with my attempt at Spanish. That was terrible.
Oh.
Sorry. Thanks for doing that.
It was very much like Cameron Westcott saying, we went down to Cabo and we enjoyed the tacos so much that when we came back, all we do is eat tacos.
Por favor, limpia el otro cuarto. They're like, what the fuck, Brand? They made out refrigerator in that, and not is necessary. That's what I said. Don't be short now. We're already the most unprofessional fucking show on the planet. Okay, and sorry,
what
everybody,
I was saying, Ronnie,
that's scheduled incorrectly because we're recording differently because Ben's on the East Coast. Not to blame Ben, but Preston, let's bully Preston. I hope you were bullying Preston this whole time.
It's only a Jewish holiday today. It's fine. Just punch me when I'm down. The holiday of when we were oppressed. No, what I was saying was that like I was surprised that Preston's big frustration with Phil was that Phil said you're soft or you're zesty. And not that Phil aimed a bottle of tequila at him and made it look like he was going to shoot him in the face.
Okay.
You know, like...
But
I was surprised that it was like
what that actually was, that bottle.
Yes.
So
yes,
it was
I was.
But it wasn't a real gun. No, it was a shots gun.
No, that was my. Some people said it was a tequila bottle.
Here's the thing, audience. You keep lying to us, okay? I saw a gun. I said it's probably a shots gun, not a shotgun, but a gun that is shots. You squirt shots into people's mouth, which I guess that's why it works, right? Shots gun. Anyway. That's what I said it was at first. And then people are like, no, LOL, it's a tequila bottle. But then I said it's a tequila bottle, and then people were like, "No, it's a gun that squirts out shots." Okay, you guys, stop lying to me. Okay, you guys are just trying to make me crazy on purpose. And then when they showed it this week, I could have sworn it was a gun. So now I'm confused.
I've decided it's like Schrodinger's cat. Like, is it there? Is it not there?
We don't know. The guy had a dead cat in a box. By the way, anybody who's studying that, there to solve that one.
I know the cat was dead a little long. Let's be honest.
Fucking cat murderer.
The point is that whatever it was, like I would have been much more offended by someone aiming something at me, like pretending like it was a gun. And if I don't know you, if I like don't know you, I'm not to take away from what Preston's triggers are, no pun intended. But I was surprised that was like being called soft was the bigger trigger in that situation.
No, I get it.
What are we talking about?
When you've been bullied and you've been treated like crap by people like that, like a douchey dude, and then the douchey dude comes in and it's just like spraying douchey dude energy all over the place. I can definitely get the whole like, fuck this guy, I don't want him in my house. And I'm not saying that Preston should not be like that, I'm just saying the crying a year later over it is weird to me. But, I don't know what he's been through. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's also like mourning the death of his complicated, like of a complicated relationship with his father. So he's like emotional
and also I'm a monster.
Sometimes you just need to,
like I get it.
Listen, sometimes you just need to put on a jockstrap and iron something on your bed,
Now, see, that's the Preston I like to see, though, because that jockstrap, that's like the confidence that I like. You know what I mean? Because, damn, that's some
He's just like at a jockstrap and he's like, Jasmine, come on in. Yeah.
And it looks great,
you need a pencil? It's right over there.
Yeah, it looks great. So, love his confidence, love all of that. So, more of that. That's my note.
More life.
Less hats and tears, more jock straps and ironing,
There we go.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. Well, I'm getting to that age now, Ronnie, where I see myself on camera and I can see the back of my head. The hair is thinning out. And honestly, I have to imagine that the past few years, the stress in our world and our lives has impacted it.
Your hair is never just about your hair, and Nutrafol knows that. It could be your job, your deodorant, your hormones. It could be almost anything that has almost nothing to do with your hair. And that's why Nutrafol takes a whole body approach to hair health, addressing the problems inside to help hair grow on the outside, supporting your lifestyle, not just your hairstyle. With Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription or doctor's visits required. Free shipping and automated deliveries ensure you'll never miss a day. See results in 3 to 6 months.
Address your root causes of hair thinning with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Crappens.
Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code Crappens.
That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Crappens.
Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. They send you fresh, high-quality groceries, simple recipes, and essential supplements. It's like your personal assistant for healthy living.
So you take a fun, short quiz, and Hungry Root will get to know your personal health goals, what you like to eat, and more. And then they'll build you a personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week and give you delicious recipe recommendations to put those groceries to use.
Each order is fully customizable, so you can take their suggestions or choose anything you want. We love this place. It's like, I like eating this, and this. I'm a vegetarian, eat some fish sometimes. They send you all these groceries that all fit into exactly what you like.
Yeah, I have an issue with snacking in that I always want to snack, but I often snack on things that aren't always as good for me. And it was really great to get all sorts of healthy and nutritious snacks from Hungry Root. Right now, Hungry Root is offering Watch What Crappens listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life.
Just go to hungryroot.com/crappens to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies.
That's hungryroot.com/crappens. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
We haven't actually started this recap. Okay, so Jasmine's crying basically, and she has all this stuff, and Silas is deployed. And it was funny because when she was saying like, I mean, Silas has a set amount of time that he's supposed to be deployed, but if they get extended, that's completely out of my control. It's like, and it's out of his control, so I don't know. So she's crying, and we assume she's crying because she doesn't know. Like if he gets pushed back, that's just so frustrating. But maybe she's crying because she's afraid he won't get pushed back. Like, I can't make him stay there longer. He may come back in a reasonable amount of time, and I just really don't want that.
No kidding. The first thing he's gonna do is start giving bad reviews to the baby's meal plan,
I whatever flight attendant that's going to be on his flight, you better watch out if you serve him starches when he's not eating carbs right now. He's going to literally have the flight attendants ironing for him on the plane.
So Bria's going off saying, I was disrespected in numerous different ways and I don't feel comfortable. And that's it. If I don't feel comfortable, then I don't feel comfortable. Okay, well,
we're on a reality
you know
show.
what? Someone was
Literally.
uncomfortable with you with putting dog shit in the regular laundry. So did their discomfort not matter? That's my question. Is yours the only discomfort that matters? Because gross. And your dog poops everywhere too. I'm uncomfortable with that. How about that? Justice for Mariah.
Yeah. Yeah, justice for Mariah. And I feel like also justice for my feelings about Milo. I feel like my stance on Milo has not changed. It's been one of the few stances I've ever had on this show that has been resolute and has never equivocated. And I've never said I've never done something where I've tried to find the nuance in it or try to understand it from another side, try to understand the full scope. No, Milo sucks, and he always has sucked. And I feel like the longer this show airs, the more people really see how much Milo sucks as a dog. You're right. He poops everywhere.
No, one of the first things I said in this episode, and we'll get to it probably in 3 hours when we get to the second scene of this night. One of the first things I said was Milo is a star. I was dying laughing. He's so talented. And then at the end of the night, Preston said it as well. Milo's the star. So two gays said it. You're only one gay out of 3. Your disagreement is downvoted. Milo is a star.
Well,
that's it.
Guess what? Guess who's not afraid to go against the grain today? Milo may be a star, but for all the wrong reasons. Okay?
Milo is not crying over stupid shit. So Milo's my favorite on this show so far.
Well, congratulations. Austin's been on Southern Charm for 5 seasons, and because he's awful. So just because you're awful doesn't mean you can't succeed.
That's true.
So congratulations, Milo, the Austin Kroll of dogs.
The Austin Kroll. Austin wishes he was that cute.
That's true. You're right. Austin is definitely worse than Milo.
By the way,
but
while
Milo
we're talking about Austin, Austin Kroll DM'd us and was like, "Oh, guys, you're still taking votes on whether I'm the douchiest? I mean, really, guys? You can't get new material?" And I was like, "Oh, get over it. Congratulations, you're doing so well." Something like that. And he is like, "Well, if I win this award, then you guys have to follow me and come on my show." Well, he did win the award, and I did follow him.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on that show invite, sir. Still waiting for you to collect that prize.
He was funny though. I mean, I will say this to Austin's credit. He was like, "Seriously? Did JT write these awards?" I was like, that was honestly funny.
That was funny.
I was like, "You are really one of the worst on TV," but that was funny.
Okay, so back to the show. What were you going to say about it?
The
whole thing.
Just that Bria's having the whole thing. Let's do the whole show. So Bria's so Bria and Jasmine are kind of they're sort of talking it out, but not really. And I don't know.
Jasmine's
Bria's just
handling it well. She's just okay, if you're uncomfortable, then okay. She's not putting up an argument because that's the ultimate defense. When someone says, "I'm uncomfortable," are you denying the fact? Are you trying to ignore the fact that I'm uncomfortable? You can't do that. Because it's 2024. Right. So she's like, well, I can't go up against that. So, okay, Mariah can't come to the house because someone's uncomfortable. And so that ends that. But Bria keeps trying. And she's like, I was so disrespected. So then Preston's like, what would happen if I was the only one that said no to Phil? Would you still be okay with him not coming just if I was the only one blocking him? And she's like, I would never let him in the house because you personally told me how you felt. And if Phil was to do what Mariah did to me to you, it would be a different story.
Phil was so much worse. Phil took a shit in the toilet and then refused to flush it as a strange power play. And then he started up with like literally every person in the house. He was rude to every person. He aimed a tequila bottle or a water gun in like at Preston's face in a menacing way. He was like a real terror. And for Bria to elevate what Mariah did to what Phil did is so fucked up and also so wrong. And also, by the way, if Preston were the only one to protest Phil coming into the house, there's no way that Bria would say, honestly, because I know who you are, I'm okay with it. She would have a hissy fit and she would cry and she would storm off and then she would call Simon on the phone and he would say, why are you calling me right now? Prices are so expensive to go to United States. So she says that, but she claims she would, of course, not allow Phil to come, even if it was just Preston who was saying no. And Preston's like, no, I don't think so. And she goes, yes, I would. And he's like, no, sadly, I don't think so because his name wasn't even brought up at all. And she goes, well, that's your opinion. Who are you calling out right now? And he goes, I'm not calling anyone out. Or Jasmine says he's not calling anyone out. And so then they start fighting over Phil, theoretically.
Yeah.
A theoretical Phil fight.
And so she's like, don't fucking fuck with me. And he's like, oh, no one's scared of you, okay? And she's like, I don't want you to be scared of me, but don't play with me with this fake ass shit. And I think this has just devolved into drunken fighting, because it's Summer House, and that's how we roll here. And so she, Preston's big thing this season is not taking an ounce of Bria shit, which is pretty funny. And so she's storming out, It's funny that he calls it every single time, and she always does it. And so Bria does another storm out where she storms out, but not really. She keeps coming back. Every week she does the same thing. And so he's calling her out and being like, she does this every week, whatever. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. And she's yelling, I don't give a fuck, bitch. Don't play with me. So now people are talking to Bria, and Nick's like, dude, calm down. You look insane. And she's like, I don't even care. I don't care.
That's bad when you have Nick, the person who wears like stripes on stripes on stripes on stripes and old-timey hats, saying that you look insane right now. But so then Amir and Jordan come back to the table with a whole bunch of shots. And Amir's like, wait, what happened? Oh, we missed a lot, I guess. And Bria's like, I want a shot. Give me two because I'm tired of this bullshit. So then everyone takes their shots. And then they just leave. And then Nick is like really upset. He's like, wow, this is crazy. I actually left my salad behind. And then they show a close-up of a Caesar salad, like as if he left behind some really important culinary production.
It was a sad Caesar salad. And I'm a Caesar salad lover, but I was like, that looks packaged.
It did.
Right.
I was just served a story this morning on Facebook, I think from The Atlantic, that was like, what's the deal with all the weird things happening with Caesar salads? And the gist of it, which I did not follow because I knew it would not be a free article, is that chefs these days are experimenting way too much with the Caesar salads, and they don't even taste like Caesar salads anymore. And I was like, wow, that's a very specific angle for an article.
Yeah. And I think it's a good thing to experiment with a Caesar salad. Because let's face it, most Caesar salad is mayonnaise. Like American Caesar salad is like some mayonnaise sauce on some unhealthy lettuce. Like not that lettuce is unhealthy, but it's like not the healthy. Romaine's not like the most nutrient packed lettuce. Oh God, why are we talking about Caesar? I'm not going to get dragged down into a Caesar salad debate. I'm just trying to
be honest with what's on my mind today.
No. You're trying to disparage Milo and disparage free thinking
I don't
in
have
the
to
Caesar
disparage
salad
Milo.
in the Caesar salad community.
I don't have to disparage Milo. He does that all by himself.
Milo is the Caesar salad of dogs.
He is. Oh my God. He's like not just the Caesar salad of dogs. He's the Caesar salad that gets served on an airplane of dogs.
Okay, so now
that dressing, they have to pull the top off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm
pretending it's not happening. So some people get in one SUV, and so now we're cutting between the SUVs, and Preston and Bria have their separate SUVs, obviously. So then Preston's like, she is impossible. And in her SUV, Bria's like, I'm yelling because I'm hurt. I'm just so hurt.
I have a lot going on. People you know, people, you know, she's saying like people think I'm just a bratty bitch or whatever, bratty ass bitch, and everyone's like, okay, whatever, and then they're just like drunk. They're drunk coming back into the
And then
house
we
and
get
stuff.
the most Shanice moment ever. She goes, "Oh my god, I hit my heel on my foot."
And I didn't even understand what that was and why it elicited so much pain, because then she just like falls back onto the seat. Like she's like, oh, it's like my heel just fired my foot. Wow.
It's like my heel is stalking my foot.
It's like my heel just told my foot you're the worst dressed. Huh?
I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized by the stalking that my own heel did to my own foot. So she basically kicks herself, and it takes her down the rest of the episode. So then Bria is now telling the rest of the car, she's like, oh, really? And everybody's like acting like Jasmine's so hurt and nobody's helping her. Well, nobody stuck up for me. Not one of you said a thing to stick up for me, because there's nothing to be stuck up for. A girl shoved laundry in your chest. For Christ's sake, okay? Let it go.
Now, yeah. Now, by the way, while this is happening, Milo is a disaster. First, Milo has gotten into some sort of shopping bag, and like there's like juice in the shopping bag. Then Milo jumps, like is able to like access Bria's makeup bag, which is on a desk. Milo jumps up and drags it down. Then Milo gets into the bag, then scatters everything around. Then Milo goes into the bathroom and starts playing with the toilet paper, starts shredding the toilet paper and starts unfurling it. It is like a disaster in this room.
I was dying laughing. He's so cute. And yeah, when he went to the bathroom and then started like hamster wheeling against the toilet paper and then barking at it. Also, whoever's doing Milo's voiceover work this year is so fucking good. They're so talented because they really make it look like Milo has a perfectly placed like and
yeah.
And he's just so cute. I just love Milo, and I loved him wrecking Bria's stuff because Bria's an asshole today. So I really liked him taking it out on her.
If there's anyone who deserves it, it's Bria for sure. But I was just like, this fucking dog. Oh my god, this fucking dog.
Yeah, I love him. It's like the Home Alone. You know, it's like burglars are trying to come in and he's like finding a way to like trick them with toilet paper. You know, like I'm going to unfurl this and I don't know, leave breadcrumbs to it and they fall out the window because they're following the breadcrumbs of toilet paper.
But like this dog is a disaster. Last week they were cleaning up shit, like the dog shit on the rug in the middle of the house. Like this dog is not
nice
potty trained.
Shit. That's so gross. I don't like thinking about poop. I mean, the dog had a moment. He had a moment. So,
terrible dog.
Now,
terrible.
Jasmine is talking to Shanice while Shanice pees, you know, and Jasmine's like, I really need to acknowledge that I contributed to a very traumatizing experience by talking about that stalking you did to that dude who was on TV. Please, whoever's out there right now, do not Google it. It only traumatizes Shanice more. Please do not Google. You guys should Google it. That shit is crazy. You should Google it. I did it last week and I'm disturbed. I'm still disturbed.
And then Shanice is like, yeah, no, I appreciate your apologies. And Jasmine's like, no, none of us had to address it. None of us did. And Shanice is like, correct, right. I had to pay like $5,000 for a lawyer and I just like got fired from my job and like I had to take a loan out for that. Like it's a lot. I'm trying. I'm just like moved. It's like a lot. It's like a lot. I'm going through some real life shit. Like I know that he's the one who's on Insecure, but it's me who's insecure.
And she's like super upset, which I don't blame her. Her life seems like it's in shambles. But you know what? Sometimes when life shits on your head, it like sends you to the right place. And I think that Tampa is the right place.
Yeah, just ask Ralph. When things go wrong, when times get tough, just go to Tampa.
Is she in Tampa? I think she said she went to Tampa, right? She had to go to Tampa.
She got relocated to Tampa and then they fired her, which is so cruel.
I feel like Tampa's such a good place for her. I really do. So
I think so too.
Yeah, I just think she's going to love it there. So then Bria joins Nick down in the kitchen and Nick's
By
like,
the way, I want to clarify something also. When Bria walks into her room and sees the pandemonium, she doesn't even have a moment of like, oh my God, Milo, what the hell did you do? Oh my God. She sees it. She goes, oh, okay. She's like so used to this from Milo that she knows that when she leaves Milo, Milo is going to create chaos.
yeah.
She was totally
I think they're both the
unfazed
same.
by
They're
it.
good for each other because she walks in and she's, oh, this is what we're doing now. I like that. Or she's like, this is what we're doing. We're getting into my makeup now. Great, Milo. And, Milo hears her having a fit and telling everybody off. And he's like, oh, this is what we're doing now? Really? You're just going to go, these are all my friends. These are my friends. I just gave them the gift of my poopy in the middle of that carpet to show them how much I love them. And you're yelling at them now? Come on. They're both exasperated with each other, but at the end of the day, they still accept each other. It's a beautiful, beautiful moment.
So beautiful. So now Bria's back downstairs after dealing with Milo, and she sees Nick, and Nick is like, you just blacked on me going upstairs. And she goes, I did, because I thought you said something I didn't like. He goes, I said Milo's been crying. And she's like, oh, well, but that's because you said you're a hoe. Stop crying. He's like, no. I like that he said Milo's been crying, and she heard you're a hoe. Stop crying.
Didn't we see a clip where she's going, okay, fine, I'm a drag queen, I'm a hoe? It's like, what? What are you hearing? He didn't say any of this stuff.
I know.
So she's like, are you mad at me now? Come on. He's like, no, I'm just confused what you're talking about. She's like, well, I'm confused too by everything. So Summer, of all people, is like, are you right now? Because I love you when you're you and not whatever this is. Because when you're you, you're the most fun, calm, great human being that I've ever met in my life. Give me 1 second. How could you treat me like this? It's like, you want to hyperventilate some more while you're criticizing someone else for leaving their body when they're upset?
I know, seriously. And Bria's like, well, if people keep saying nasty things, I'm gonna freak out. So Nick is like, I'm just gonna go let you have your privacy. And she's like, no, sit the fuck down because you're non-present to a lot of shit that goes on. He's like, yeah, but that's because you're upstairs. And she's like, well, who cares? Come hang out in my room once in a while. Like, take a nap with me. He's like, what? She's like, you never heard of sleep support?
Yeah. He's like, I have a girlfriend. You might remember me mentioning her after everybody else had turned me down last season. Her name is Tasia. Okay. So I will not be your sleep support. So then Alex and Shanice join in and they're still talking about sleep support. And Shanice is like, what is sleep support? Do you think I could get a job there? You guys, hi, let me practice. Hi, this is sleep support for English, press 1, for Spanish, press 2, for shots, press 1 and 2. Shots in English, 1, shots in Spanish, shots.
I'm so glad that sleep supporting is becoming mainstream because that's all I was trying to do with my ex, just trying to give him some sleep support. So Shanice is like, she's like, what the fuck is sleep support? And Bria's like, it's where they sleep in your bed and they give you emotional support. Sleep support. I'm like, you already have Milo. Isn't that what Milo's job is? See, Milo's not even doing his job.
Yeah. Milo's job is to be adorable and he's doing it. And he's never going to get fired from that job. Milo is not being relocated to Tampa anytime soon.
Mm-mm. Milo is no sexy chicken, I'll tell you that much.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Okay, so now everybody wakes up. It's day 7. Dun, dun, dun. And Bria and Shanice are in the kitchen, and Bria's like, are you still mad at Alex? And Shanice is like, no, I'm just, I just have emotions sometimes, that's just what happens. You want shots? So Bria is like, yeah, that was so funny how you're like, Alex, I hate you. And then Alex walks in. He's like, hi. Wow, you're talking about me? I feel like such a legend.
I feel like such my cousin. And so then Bria's like, she's like, they're just like teasing him. They're like, "Oh my God, like we hate you, Alex," and stuff. So Bria, Shanice is like, "Just so you know, I apologize for saying I hate you. I don't hate you. I was just giving sleep support to my emotions." He's like, "Yeah." So they're talking. They're excited because they're gonna be playing basketball, and that's gonna be their activity for today. So they all gather for that and stuff. And Jasmine's like, "Bria, I just want you to know that Mariah is gonna stay somewhere else, but she will be at the festivities. Whatever the festivities are, she will be at them."
So they go play basketball, and then Preston and Bria do their circle, which is where he calls her out for being a brat in front of everybody. She gets really upset, and then the next day he talks about it like, yeah, we should just accept each other more. He's like the king of that. So he's like, everybody's got a lot that we're working through. Me bullying, Jasmine, whatever's going on with her and Silas, you dating somebody who's really into time. Okay, but I just want you to know I am appreciative of you letting me know that Phil was going to come. And she's like, okay, well, you're 100% feeling how you should feel, but you should at least FaceTime Phil. And he's like, I'm open to hearing him out. Okay. Even though one time I did FaceTime somebody who made fun of my hat. And so it's been really hard for me to go on FaceTime ever since then. She's like, okay.
Everyone on this show definitely speaks in therapy talk all the time. It's just so hilarious. It's like the enlightened way that someone argues the enlightened way that we should all be communicating with each other, which is like having consideration or whatever. But it's just so funny to me. Like, I hear you and I 100% acknowledge what you are going through at this moment. And I'm wondering if you could be open to what I'm saying right now. I'm totally going to be open to what you're saying. And I, in turn, hear you as well. And when you act that way, it makes me feel the hurt that I had growing up, and I hear you about that, and I accept that. Will you FaceTime this person who aimed a tequila bottle at you and called you soft? I am open to that. It does fully infringe on some of my trauma, but I respect you as a person, and you showed up for me, so I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I really hate that kind of talk. And I start to just not even want to be friends with people in therapy. Not you, of course. Whoever, all my friends who are in therapy, because we all are to some degree.
I hear
but if
you,
it's
Ronnie.
too much, it's just too much. When you're versed in it, when you've been through therapy and you realize what's going on, you understand that people are still saying, fuck you, you fat bitch. They've just learned how to say it in a more acceptable way. So I still feel the fuck you, fat bitch, that you're sending me. You can code it in whatever you want to, but I know what you're saying. I've been to therapy. I have BetterHelp.
I hear you, Ronnie, and I appreciate you having that honest moment just now, and it really means a lot that you felt comfortable in saying that to me. However, I will push back slightly and just say that I hope you're open to me talking like this. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me in therapy. This couch is really soft. I've been bullied. How dare you? Okay, so
Shanice, this couch just took your old job. I'm so sorry to tell you that.
Hey, does this couch want to do shots? Okay, so we go to Noelle needing to throw up in the bathroom because, drinking and stuff. So then back at the house, Shanice is now in full pain because she kicked herself last night. So she's staying in. And then...
Well, she also twisted her ankle. They showed slow-mo of her twisting her ankle.
Oh,
so
I thought this was all because of her kicking herself. That's how interesting the show was yesterday. I kind of zoned out at parts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that there was a 2-phase ankle injury for Shanice. She twisted her ankle because it was already weakened from her having already kicked her heel coming out of the Uber. It's really, there's so many nuances.
Really, truly, yeah. Okay, so then now we're talking about, let's just skip some stuff.
They're going to go out. They're just going to go.
So
So now they're going to go out, and now they go to the club, and guess what? Bria tries to bring Milo into the club, and thank God for bouncers who know their job, who know what to do. And he's like, no, you cannot bring a dog into the club. Yes, we may just be playing Jimmy Buffett in here. And yes, the only thing you can drink in here may just be Red Stripe and Amstel Light, but we still do not allow little dogs.
We're not letting tiny dogs around our packaged Caesar salad dressing. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
So she takes him outside and calls Simon. He almost gets attacked by a skunk. Milo, not Simon. I mean, maybe Simon did too.
Maybe Simon. I almost saw a skunk.
How could you treat me like that, skunk? When you know all I want is I love you, and you know I've had a very hard day to work, and now you are questioning my plane ticket?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. It was not a skunk. It was just a takeout bowl from Helen Hottie. But I got scared.
So Bria's like, yeah, it's really difficult for Simon because, like, if he's had a bad day at work and I'm not there to cook and clean for him, it's hard.
If he had a bad day at work and I'm not there to put an entire canister of Old Bay seasoning into a broth, then I'm not sure he's going to get through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't I wouldn't peg her as the Donna Reed of the cast, but who knows?
Yeah.
So now it's the next morning and they're having cowboy breakfast because it's rodeo day because Amir's in charge. And he's like, in Texas in general, rodeos are our carnivals. I was like, listen, I know that you're actually from here and you're allowed to say things like that. But guess what else our carnivals are? Carnivals. We have carnivals as well. Rodeos and carnivals. Our carnivals are carnivals.
I believe
our rodeos are rodeos.
I believe Leanne Locken did not say she was raised as a rodeo girl. She was raised as a carny, okay, in Texas.
Yeah. I don't know what Amir is saying. He's such a himbo, but he's so cute while he says it.
He is so cute all the time. I'm always like, and he was so cute in his country western outfit. Ugh. But yeah, he does say silly things. Also, an ongoing storyline for this episode is that the dishes are just like piling up in the sink. And normally Amir is just cleaning the dishes, but this week he's just not doing the dishes right now. And so they're just stacking up and everyone's getting stressed.
Yeah. So then Preston has to make peace with Phil. Dun, dun, dun. So he does a FaceTime. And basically, you know, he's like, okay, you know, I've been bullied or whatever. And Phil's like, okay, look, I was drunk last time I met you. I've been to therapy. So I just want to say, I totally understand where you're coming from. And, you know, I feel what you feel. I'm an empath, etc. Okay, are you buying this? You buying any of this?
I fully hear you and understand that when I pooped in Nick's toilet and didn't flush, that was something that triggered his past trauma. However, what he doesn't realize is that me flushing a toilet triggers my past trauma. And so while I hear you and open to you, I just ask that you and Nick are open to my trauma and understand that if you were to flush my poop, that would actually be an ultimate sign of you showing that you hear me and see me. Thank you. Therapy.
And Preston's like, okay, but you know, when you came into the house and you were like, let's take a shot, motherfucker. I mean, it was just so amped. And for some people, it's nothing. It's just lighthearted. But for me, I just can't deny how I felt in that moment.
Got to Shanice being like, let's take a shot, motherfucker. Come on, let's take a shot, motherfucker.
Shanice just pops up from behind a bush. Don't be soft. So he's like, you know, calling someone soft or calling someone zesty or calling someone sus, all of those things. That language is what I've heard for so. That's not even real bullying. Those bullies have been through therapy because even they're using nicer language. Okay, what bully is being like, "Hey, Ronnie, you zesty little a-hole," and pushing my head into it? No, that's not bully. I'm sorry. Just from a different time.
I did not know that. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about calling someone sus is that I think we talked about this last week, is that apparently sus is already out according to Padma's daughter. Because did I talk about this? How Padma had that video with her daughter on Instagram, and her daughter was like, "Mom, you can't say sus."
Yeah.
I was like, "Why can't I say sus?" Apparently, all this time, Padma's just been bullying.
Yeah. The sus is out. Am I still allowed to call Gail zesty?
Actually, I never call Gail that because that implies some amount of freshness.
That's way too much vitamins for Gail to ever be accused of representing.
Excuse me, daughter, am I allowed to say the following sentence? Wow, Gail, that farmer stand you have certainly is sus.
Okay, so Preston is like, I'm triggered because I've experienced bullying in some respect. And so I encourage us all to be very mindful of words we're using when we talk to people. Because sticks and stones was a lie. That was a lie. Which I don't think.
By the way,
sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt. I don't know. I think sticks and stones. I'm going to stand by sticks and stones. I still think it's a good saying. And I don't know why I'm coming up against Preston. I really like Preston. And I think he's a good representation of the gays for the most part on this show. And I really like him. I think it's just the whole everybody, like literally everybody's triggered today. And I've had enough of it. I'm tired of it.
I think sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me. I feel like, so Preston says it's all a lie. I mean, it is all a lie, but I think it's an aspiration, right? Like, it's actually just it's really just the playbook for being a reality star, which is like, you're never allowed to put your hand on someone else, but you're allowed to say whatever you want and don't let it affect you. Just forge forward because that's how you're a good reality star.
Listen.
And the truth is that Preston is like very like, he's all like, the words are triggering, it's bullying, da 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 da. Sir, why did you go on to Bravo? There's the Bravo audience says we're not kind with our words. You could literally have an episode, Preston, where you make scrambled eggs, and we will have 10 Reddit posts, 3 threads going on Facebook, tweets all like, why is he making his eggs that way? What a stupid person. He's soft. He's sus. Those eggs are soft. They're zesty. They don't taste zesty. I mean, they weren't like lemon eggs or anything, but like theoretically, like their spirit was zesty. You're going to get it from all sides on Bravo, no matter what you do.
Look, I say this to my bullies. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but I'll run your ass over. Say it again.
It is. That was like very much like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
I'll kill you. I'll go to prison for
fool me
this.
twice. I would say sticks and stones may break my bones, but now I have more things to craft a beautiful decor with.
Yeah, sticks and stones may break your bones, but I can sew stretch material. So
sticks and stones may break my bones, but I have a podcast, so I'm just going to talk shit about you.
So Phil's like, okay, look, I have no justification. I feel you. I hear you. Your feelings are my feelings, etc. And Preston's like, I appreciate that. I accept your triggering. You do. I appreciate that. I really,
and Phil was
do.
triggered. Phil was like, and by the way, the one thing that triggered me was that when you said that I'm not a comedian, because I actually am a comedian. Like, that's how I make my money. And Preston goes, so do you make a lot of it? He's like, no. He goes, well, see, then I could be a comedian too.
I like that Preston doesn't care about Phil's triggering. But also, Phil actually said, that's how I made my living. So I think putting it in past tense like that is funny because he's like, how dare you accuse me of not being a real stand-up comic last summer, even though I'm not right now. It's like, I'm poor Phil. Poor Phil's grasping.
Listen, I know. He's like, I just booked 5 minutes at Jamba Juice. So now it's time to go off to the equestrian club. So they go off and everything, and everyone's showing up, and they're all like, everyone's in cowboy. Everyone looks great in their cowboy gear. And Amir's like saying, he's like, yeah, growing up, it was either football or horseback riding, and I stuck to horseback riding because in horseback riding, horses are basically our carnivals.
So later, so they do this like big wacky rodeo day. So then later,
enter hot chicken. Yes,
Amir FaceTimes Natalie, and this is the best part of the episode for me. I need Natalie on this show stat. I don't know why we're even wasting time on rodeo day when Natalie's not here. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So he calls her and he's like, oh, hi, you look amazing. Where are you going today? And she's like, nowhere.
She is so done up. She has full hair done, full makeup. She's like, going nowhere. Well, how was your day? It was good.
I guess it's
Just
good.
getting stuff done.
Like looking over to the side, touching her face, like clearly pissed. And he's like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, I love trying to figure out what Natalie's really thinking. It's Natalie 101. Because she's not going to tell me how she feels. It's up to me to pick up the little cues that let me know how she feels. Let me tell you something. In Texas, carnivals are our Natalie. So
So now they go out by the pool. Some of them are like preparing because it's going to be a talent show tonight, Apollo talent show. And also Jasmine has told everyone that there's going to be a special guest at dinner. So that's what this is all leading to. So Summer is saying how she's sitting with Noelle and Shanice, and they're just like chatting, talking about dinner, talking about what they're going to have. Bria's announcing that she doesn't eat eggs, and they're like, "What? Since when do you not eat eggs?" She's like, "I don't know. I never eat eggs. I throw up." So Noelle is like, "By the way, yeah, I was caught off when people were saying, oh, you didn't know that Summer and Alex had past dealings?" Because Noelle's like really stuck on this thing. And Summer's like, well, I thought you understood that.
You're
we
not
had
with the
it."
guy. You were never with the guy. The guy just completely humiliated you. Why are you still talking about the guy? I think that they keep telling her, you need to have a fight with Summer about this. Again, you need to have another discussion with Summer about the person that she hooked up with. That's absolutely none of your fucking business anyway. So Summer's pissed that she has to talk about this again. And she's like, okay, but I thought that you were going to be fine with it. What am I supposed to say to you? Oh my God. And she's like, well, I would just like to know. And she's like, oh, I'm sick of this. So she just like walks off because it's...
But she's like mad at Bria because the thing is that, Noelle's like, I just didn't know you guys had sex, basically. And Bria's like, it's so weird because you guys met up for lunch. Why didn't you think just to say, hey, by the way, I slept with this person? And Summer's like, well, I didn't know if she liked him or not. Like, why would I have to say it? Whatever. And Bria's like, no, I'm just like saying like, no, I'm just agreeing like, no, she never had it or something like that. And Summer's like, right. Okay, fine, whatever. Summer feels like Bria's coming for her. So Summer storms off into the house.
Yeah, they just keep trying to have this same argument with her by making her seem like she did something wrong with banging the guy, And they're still all sensitive because he basically dumped her, so she's still sensitive. And then he rejected Noelle too, but of course they're going to argue with each other for no reason. It's sad. So then she's pissed now. So then Noelle's like, I really just hate how things transpired. And Jasmine's like, what? What happened? I can help somewhere? Mommy mode in effect. Now, we know that Summer's sensitive. And she's like, yeah, and I wasn't really coming for her. It wasn't my intention to come for her. So it's just, they're treading water at this point. I feel like the cast is like, we have to do something. It's day 7. Let's have the same conversation again.
This should not have been an episode, let's be honest.
No,
so,
really the rest of this is that. Because now they're going to do this Apollo night. And first, Jasmine has her announcement that she's pregnant, because she's like, our guest is sitting there. Does anyone have a glass? I'd like to make a toast. Our guest is in my stomach. I'm pregnant. Your guest is the fucking baby.
I know. I thought it was going to be Silas, personally. I was like, oh, God, Silas is back from Poland. But it was just a baby and everything. And then, of course, everyone's like, yeah, well, obviously, you're not drinking. Your boobs are big. Like, we can see that you have like a little bit of a bump. Everyone noticed except, of course, Amir. Amir's like, what?
He's like, babies are
this
our
went over my
rodeos."
head? I'm like, I can understand why his girlfriend gets annoyed at him.
Truly.
He didn't even notice this thing. So they're like, oh my God. And she's saying how Jasmine's saying how she spends all day like sucking in her stomach to hide it, but now she can just be herself and everything. And she just like, the baby is going to come in February and all this stuff. So I was like, wow, okay, cool. So you think it's going to be the end of the episode. And then the episode just goes on and on and on and on with a talent show that has literally no impact on anything. To me, the only thing that was notable about the talent show was when Alex was singing a song And all you hear him is go like this. He like tries really hard to do the. Is it melisma?
Is that skin cancer?
No, like when people go.
Like a vibrato?
He's like, vibrato.
I think his
arpeggio,
vibrato
whatever it
was
is.
very pretty, actually, because it was like a very fast bell. It was like a.
It was super fast.
I thought it was pretty. I never heard that before. It was like a bird's trill, like a. It was nice.
It was too much. I thought it was like way. He was like singing basically like, I love you. But he was like, I love you.
Yeah, I feel like when everybody else is like, here's my talent, wearing a wig backwards. Or the girls had a band called the Meows, and they just went, meow, meow. Like everybody's terrible. And then you get up there and you're being serious. It's like,
I know. It's
you
just
can't
such
just
an
get up
Alex
there and
thing
be
to
like,
do.
John Shane, darling. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah,
You know?
he's
But
like
that's Alex.
Music Collective with my cousin John Legend.
John Madge Music Collective on Facebook. Well, that brings us to the end of Summer House.
That's it.
They did that, so that was fun. And next, we're
Hot
going to be
chicken.
coming out with a recap of Below Dick, which is tomorrow. Also, this is Dwell Hello week. Dwell Hello is so much fun. Check that out on Wondery Plus. Also, check it out at the Netflix Comedy Festival. Netflix is a Joke next week, Friday night in Los Angeles.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be so much
Yeah,
fun.
we'll figure out an episode. We'll announce what episode it's going to be, etc. But it's going to be, we're going to have a great time. So go watchacrappers.com to get the tickets, and we will catch you on the next episode of this show. Bye, everyone.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch Or Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
50 high school senior girls descend on Mobile, Alabama every summer to compete for a massive cash prize. It isn't Survivor. It's one of America's most lucrative scholarship competitions for teen girls. It's been around for 7 decades. Now you'll hear what took place behind the scenes. From Pineapple Street Studios and Wondery, this is The Competition. I'm your host, Shimo Liai, and I was Nevada's contestant 20 years ago. Now I'm returning as a judge to find out what 2 weeks with 50 of the country's most ambitious teens can tell us about girlhood in America. What happens when the competitors are thrown into the deep end with the best and brightest? And how does surviving the competition prepare them for everything that comes after? Follow The Competition on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of The Competition early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I love a good parasocial relationship with a celebrity who will probably never know my name.
I mean, honestly, who knows? Don't count yourself out. But my favorite part about these feuds is how they're ignited by the tiniest things.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
I accidentally laminated my brows too much.
It starts small and then it gets so big.
To be honest, Naomi, I'm fearful of you to this day.
I don't know her.
We all just have to admit, we're addicted. Everybody has opinions. Everyone picks sides.
Leave Britney Spears alone right now.
From Wondery, I'm Sydney Battle.
And I'm Matt Belisai.
And this is Dis and Tell, where we unpack why we get so invested in these feuds and whether or not our attention only makes the whole thing worse.
Follow Dis and Tell wherever you get your podcasts.